Yo, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna be going over how to level up in the next 90 days. If you're in the Western world, if you're in Europe, summer is around the corner and you can make a massive change in the next 90 days before summer. So in no particular order, I'm gonna be going over some things that you need to double down on if you wanna make a change physically, mentally, with your health, with your fitness, with your career, with relationships, with anything. And it all stems from putting more effort into you. You've got to be selfish to be selfless. If you want to be the best possible version of you, you have to make sure that you are spending time working on you. So in no particular order, we're going to start right from the very top with one of the most important things, if not the most important thing that your whole life can build structure around, which is your training. Training includes lifting weights, cardio, and steps. Now, what you do for training comes down to A, what you enjoy and what you want to get out of it. For me, I train 5 times a week, more for this than anything, but I enjoy it. It's part of my routine. It is part of my structure. It's almost part of my identity. I love it. I don't always want to go. I'm not always motivated, but I wake up on a training day and I don't even think twice about it. I just go and get it done so that it removes any decision fatigue whatsoever. On a Monday, it's a training day. I wake up and I know I go to the gym on that day. I don't always want to do it. I definitely don't always want to do it at the moment because I'm training in the morning. Now, there is no right answer here with how many times a week you should train. I always recommend 3 times a week minimum. And when I say 3 times a week, you don't have to be in the gym for 2 hours. If you've only got 40 minutes to train, absolutely fine. But train 3 times a week minimum with weights and then add in a couple of cardio sessions around that. Make sure you're hitting some steps. If you're someone who is sedentary with your job, it's probably not going to be realistic to hit 12,000, 15,000 steps a day. So just increase that by 2,000 a day and take a little bit of pressure off, but at least you're going to be moving a hell of a lot more than you were. That alone is going to make you feel a million times better. It will then help you make better decisions with food. You're probably going to sleep better. Your energy will be better. You're getting stronger. Build a little bit of muscle mass. You'll probably lose a bit of body fat just from doing that alone. And then that, obviously coupled with nutrition, which is the next point, will just take it to that next level. So with nutrition, what you want to do with this is keep it nice and simple. Decision fatigue is massive when it comes to your diet. This is why most people don't stick to their diets, because A, they hate it, and B, there's far too many decisions that they're making before midday. So then they just make bad decisions. And I used to be very guilty of that as well. You always want, or you think that you want variety. People think that they need different things every single day, and the reality is you don't. We just cycle the same foods over and over again. I did a coaching call with my clients recently, and the research shows that we just cycle between 15 to 20 foods, which is insane. And in the Western world, we just rotate between 6 dinners. That is mad. You don't need anything fresh or new. You just need to find something that works for you, that you enjoy, and have variety within those meals that you can just put on rotation. Prioritize your nutrition by having whole foods as much as possible, single ingredient foods, cut out the junk foods. You're gonna be saving money and you're gonna feel a hell of a lot better. Just cut the shit food out. You don't need it. Prep your food a little bit more. Take some care with it. Find some enjoyment in cooking your foods if you have the time to, but prep some foods in advance. Make sure it's coming from good quality sources, high protein as much as possible through real food. So not just relying purely on protein bars and high processed ways of getting protein in. And that isn't whey protein, because that's absolutely fine to include. Focus on high protein. Make sure you're having good quality carbohydrates, a load of fruit, veg, salads, get the micronutrients in there, and make sure your fiber's nice and high. Simple. Prioritize that around whole food, single ingredient foods. You're going to feel a hell of a lot better. And then part of nutrition, I'll probably say, is with hydration as well. Most people just don't drink enough water, and they struggle to drink it throughout the day because maybe you get busy, maybe you forget. Sometimes when I'm locked in on the computer, I forget to go to the toilet, I forget to drink anything. So have a bottle on you at all times. And you want to be aiming minimum 2 liters a day. If you're someone that's training, you want to be up to 3 to 4 liters a day as well. And if you're supplementing with things like creatine, you definitely want to make sure that you're having enough water. So the way to make sure that you are going to be hitting your targets with water is to front load that in the day. Wake up, get a big chunk of your water intake. You're going to be dehydrated after you sleep anyway. So I typically will have at least half a litre in the morning before I'm cracking on with anything else. I train in the mornings anyway. So I'm probably doing about 1.5 litres before 8 o'clock in the morning, I would say. But you need to be hydrated. And when it comes down to the training, if I just go back to that a little bit, Depends when you can train and what you enjoy doing. For most people, I would say to train in the morning. If you're someone that has a 9 to 5 job or something similar like that, train in the morning and get it done and out of the way. There's nothing worse than finishing a tough day at work, stressful day at work. You get home, you sit down, and then you just can't be asked to go to the gym. Don't give yourself that opportunity to sack it off. Get it done before work. If that means waking up earlier, so be it. If it means waking up at 5 a.m, that's what I'm doing right now because it just suits my lifestyle way better. I don't particularly want to be up at that time, but it suits my lifestyle better. It means that I can finish my working day early, I can get outside, get in the sun. I've got way more time to myself. Then so be it. I'm going to be tired at 5 o'clock, the same as if I was to wake up at 8 o'clock. When that alarm goes off, you don't just all of a sudden go, I'm ready for the day. You typically will just be a bit tired whatever time of the day that you wake up. So just get it done before work. Don't give yourself the opportunity to sack off the gym when you've had a long day at work or something might just come up. Do something for you early in the morning. You're gonna feel a lot better, you're gonna feel more productive, you're gonna have more energy, you're getting one of the hardest things of the day done, and then the rest of the day will just run seamlessly. And like I say, once you got your training in check, your nutrition's probably gonna follow that as well. Then the next thing is gonna be kind of alongside that with your sleep. One of the big game changers that I made in the last probably 2 years is doubling down on my sleep, making sure I'm having pretty strict bedtimes every single day of the week, not just like Monday to Friday and then at the weekend do what I want. Our bodies love routine. Our circadian rhythm loves routine. Keep the same bedtime, keep the same wake up time and stick to it. Not just 1 or 2 days of the week, every single day. You'll find that you're gonna have way better energy, you're gonna have better quality sleeps because you're not just all over the place. Make sure your environment is set up for sleep as well. And that's something that I've kind of accidentally invested in the last year. Is No Strips is one of them. I use VO, they're over there. I'm not gonna go and grab them right now, but they're just some No Strips, open up my airways. I'm sleeping so much better. I've got out here because we've got aircon behind it. Typically I get like aircon colds when I'm away in Airbnbs, hotels, and I just get all stuffy. So A, the No Strips really help with that, and B, I've got a humidifier. And then just make sure your room's nice and cool. I shower typically half an hour-ish before bed, so my body temperature is nice and calm. And then I'm putting the phone down. I'm not scrolling anymore. That's one thing that I used to do all the time. I used to kind of get away with it with myself by saying that I'm switching off. I go on TikTok and you lose yourself for an hour. You're getting that blue light in your system, so wind down properly. If that is watching TV or something, great, but go and put that distraction away, go and put your phone away. I put my phone upstairs and then I'm present with Kat and I'm watching something. My evenings feel a lot longer, feel more drawn out, and I'm much more calm. And then when I'm going to bed, I'm not opening my phone, checking my messages, looking at client messages and getting all reactive and building up that stress already ahead of tomorrow. It makes such a big difference. And then how you wake up is so important as well. When that alarm goes off, you get up. You don't snooze it. You don't snooze it again. Stick to your word and actually get up. If you just get up with no thought, so when you hear that alarm go off and you just think, right, that's it, I'm getting up straight away, all of a sudden you're just not going to be that tired and you crack on. You'll realize whether you're training or not in the morning, you're going to have way more time and you're going to feel so much more productive and you're going to start the day in a much calmer state than constantly snoozing your alarm and then get up, feel sluggish, and then you have a crappy breakfast. It's so important to have that structure and you will feel a million times different with it. And that comes down to the next point with the structure side of things and having a routine. This is why I love Sundays. Sundays, I say with my clients, is reset day. Get ahead. It's a chance to have a look at your week. What have you got going on work-wise? What have you got going on socially? What have you got going on with your partner? When can you train? When can you get steps in? When can you get cardio in? Plan it in advance. And then give yourself that opportunity to make sure it gets done. So if you're someone, and I always say, never miss a Monday. For good reason as well. And it doesn't have to be training, but if you're training on a Monday morning, get your gym clothes ready, get your bag ready, get a protein shake ready, get the things ready that you know you need for the next day. Again, it doesn't give you that chance to flap around in the morning and procrastinate and waste time. Structure and routine is so, so important. Get rid of the distractions. And this is for 90 days to lock in. This doesn't have to be forever. There's a time and a place to push and pull. Something I'm huge on with my clients. My mentor's been great with me with this as well. You got to look at where you're at in life. Right now is, for most people, an amazing time to just lock in before summer. You can have a 90-day sprint where you just go all in and push on things. You say no to distractions. You stop drinking as much alcohol. You stop scrolling on your phone and wasting time. You lock in on what you want to achieve. And you can get so far ahead and make the most amount of progress you've ever made in the next 90 days. And it sounds over the top. It sounds exaggerated, but it's so true. This is why I loved it when I was living in the Middle East, because I would have to leave like every 30 days on the visa I was on. It was a massive ball ache, if I'm honest. But when I used to go back out after summer, I'd get there in September and I have a sprint up until December when typically we'll leave and either come home or we go and do a bit of travel. And during that time, the amount of progress I made with my business, with my physique, with everything that I was doing was insane because I just locked in. And it's such a good feeling. When you commit to it and when you don't give up and you stick to your word, the progress is insane. So lock in 90 days, structure, routine. It doesn't mean that you're boring. You can still have flexibility within that, but you just got to stick to your word. Then the other thing that I'm trying to place a bit more of a focus on, and I'm by no means very good at this, but I'm getting better at it, is a little bit of self-care. Especially as a bloke, I don't think we look after ourselves enough. And what do I mean by self-care? It can be anything and everything. What I'm doing out here is like once a month, I'm treating myself to like a full body massage, a Balinese full body massage. If you haven't had it, it's so good. And maybe like a haircut and a beard trim. Typically, I won't ever get my beard done, I just do it myself. But that's something to look forward to where you're almost giving yourself a little bit of downtime, a little bit of pampering, a little bit of that self-care. And for lads, we need to do it. It's gonna make you feel so, how good do you feel after you've had a haircut? You just feel fresh, you feel cleaner, you feel sharper. And if you're getting in shape at the same time, maybe your skin's cleared up a little bit, your energy's better, and you go and get a haircut, a beard trim, you're like, ooh, I feel good. And when you feel good, you look good. And when you look good, you feel good. They go hand in hand and you have every right to feel that. And I want everyone to feel that. A little bit of self-care in there. Whether it's taking your partner out for a meal, whether it's just going on a different walk and going to the beach. It doesn't have to be things that you spend money on, but find what it is that you enjoy. Plan it in advance so you got something to look forward to. So the days don't just then feel like it, or the weeks don't just feel like they're going past and you're just doing the same thing every single week, because that becomes very boring. You end up feeling like you're not going anywhere. Have things that you plan in advance, no matter how big, no matter how small they are. Maybe it's a weekend breakaway. Maybe it's a holiday that you booked in. It can be anything. It could just be cooking for your partner. Maybe there's a film that you've wanted to watch to go to the cinema. A little bit of self-care goes a hell of a long way. And I feel really good for doing it. And I'm not ashamed to say that whatsoever. And then that's kind of where I was going to go on to the other form of self-care. Towards the end of this 90 days, when you're coming into summer and you're like, I'm feeling good, you drop body fat, you built a little bit of muscle mass, you're looking leaner, you're looking sharper, you're fitter, you've been taking care of yourself a little bit more. Might be time for a wardrobe upgrade. I've had this a couple of times, and I'm not someone who particularly spends money on clothes, but I have now built out a bit of a wardrobe where I've got like 3 chinos that are really comfortable, and I get them from Zara or Arn. Is it Arn online? Arn. So I don't spend tons of money on clothes. I live my life in gym clothes like this, and they tend to last a long time. But I was like, oh, I just want a bit of a freshen up. I don't really know what I like at the moment. So I've got 3 chinos that I wear on rotation. I've got like a stony coloured beige, and then I've got a navy, and then like a charcoal. And then I just got a load of t-shirts, just plain t-shirts as well, that you can rotate between all of them. I can't remember where I got this from. It's probably Kat that told me. Or maybe Queer Eye. Have you ever watched Queer Eye? I've learned so much from that, especially about your beard line and where to... Anyway, I digress. So I've just got quite a simple wardrobe. I'm not someone that wears like over-the-top wacky stuff, and I like just that clean sort of look. But you feel so good after upgrading your wardrobe when you've got in shape. Clothes will fit you better. Like I say, even just ASOS. I used to go on ASOS and I'd just buy like a pack of 3 t-shirts and get a white, grey and a black. And I'll just have that. I spend no money on clothes at all. The only time that I've spent money on clothes is with Reiss, just because it fits me really well. I like their shirts. I like the style of it. But apart from that, I'm not into designer stuff particularly. But upgrade your wardrobe. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be looking good. You got your hair done. You got your beard done. Go and treat yourself to a new wardrobe for summer. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good. In 90 days' time, you can be a completely different person if you want to. All it requires is action. Stop thinking about it and start doing. It is as simple as that. I'm living proof of this sort of thing. I've done it. This is why I'm so passionate about it as well. Lock in for 90 days. Have a sprint. Stick to your word. Cut the shit food out. Cut the alcohol out. You're going to feel like a completely different person. Lock in.